Good day everyone, I am Dayan B. Numeron, and today I will be presenting my report on methods of teaching grammar, which focuses on interactive teaching. In this presentation, I will discuss what interactive grammar teaching is, its importance, principles, and how it helps learners improve their communication skills. Introduction. Grammar is important for correct speaking and writing, but traditional methods can be boring for learners. So interactive teaching makes grammar lessons more engaging and meaningful. So grammar is essential for correct speaking and writing. However, traditional grammar teaching methods can sometimes be boring and difficult for learners to understand. Because of this, interactive teaching is introduced to make grammar lessons more engaging, meaningful, and enjoyable for students. Interactive teaching. So, interactive teaching is a method where students actively participate in the learning process. It encourages communication, collaboration, and involvement among learners. So, instead of listening passively, students become active contributors in the classroom. So, for example, students work in pairs to create sentences instead of just listening to the teacher. Interactive teaching and grammar. In interactive grammar teaching, grammar rules are learned through practice and actual use. Students understand grammar better when they apply it in real life situations, such as conversations, group activities, and meaningful tasks. So, for example, students learn verb tenses by talking about their daily routines or past experiences. Now let us move on to the importance of interactive grammar teaching. Interactive grammar teaching is important because it improves students' understanding and retention of grammar concepts. It also increases student interest, motivation, and participation, making learning more effective and enjoyable. So, for example, students remember grammar better when they use it in conversations rather than only writing exercises. Principles of interactive teaching. This approach focuses on active participation, communication, and cooperation among learners. Students learn grammar by interacting with others, sharing ideas, and practicing language in meaningful context. For example, students work in small groups to complete grammar tasks together. Role of the teacher. In interactive grammar teaching, the teacher acts as a facilitator. The teacher guides and supports learning instead of constantly lecturing. By encouraging participation, the teacher helps students discover and understand grammar rules on their own. Role of the learners. Learners play an active role in grammar learning. They are responsible for practicing grammar, participating in activities, and using the language correctly. Through interaction, students become more confident in using grammar. Interactive versus traditional grammar teaching. A traditional grammar teaching focuses mainly on rules and written exercises. In contrast, interactive grammar teaching focuses on communication and real-life language use, allowing students to practice grammar in meaningful situations. Interactive grammar activities. Interactive grammar teaching uses activities that promote communication and participation. Examples include role plays, group discussions, games, and pair work. These activities help learners practice grammar naturally. Key features of interactive grammar teaching. The key features of interactive grammar teaching include meaningful language use, student engagement, and communication. Grammar is taught as a tool for expressing ideas, not just as isolated rules to memorize. So, for example, students use correct sentence structures to share opinions or describe experiences. Student engagement and interaction. Active interaction increases student engagement in grammar learning. Learners participate by responding to questions, sharing ideas, and negotiating meaning. which helps them understand grammar more deeply. For example, students respond to questions, share ideas, and explain their answers to classmates. Feedback and error treatment. Interactive grammar teaching provides immediate and constructive feedback. Errors are treated as part of the learning process, allowing students to learn from their mistakes without fear or embarrassment. For example, when a student makes an error, the teacher corrects it gently and explains the correct form. Development of communicative competence. The main goal of interactive grammar teaching is communicative competence. Grammar is learned to support effective communication, not only to achieve accuracy in sentence structure. For example, students practice grammar through real life situations like introducing themselves or asking for direction. Use of technology. Technology supports interactive grammar learning by making activities more engaging. It allows students to practice grammar both independently and collaboratively through digital tools and online activities. Now let us move on to advantages. Interactive grammar teaching increases student motivation, confidence, and grammar mastery. Students become more active learners and feel more confident when communicating using the language. For example, students become more confident speaking because they regularly practice grammar in class. Challenges. So, despite its benefits, interactive grammar teaching may face challenges such as limited time, large class sizes, and classroom management difficulties. For example, managing group activities can be difficult in a crowded classroom, so that is one of the challenges of interactive teaching. If we have challenges, here we have solutions. So these challenges can be addressed through careful planning and clear instructions. Teacher must manage time effectively and organize activities properly to ensure successful learning. For example, teachers can give clear instructions, set time limits, and organize students into groups. Conclusion. In conclusion, interactive teaching is an effective method for teaching grammar. It promotes active learning, communication, and meaningful use of grammar, helping students become more confident and competent language users. And that ends for my topic. Thank you for listening, and I hope this presentation helped you understand the importance of interactive teaching in grammar learning.